So they made Cher apologize. Let's go back. Okay. Yesterday, Cher tweeted, I don't follow Cher on Twitter anymore. I think Cher is one of the all-time great icons of music, and she's a great actress, and she's a good person. But during last year, her hatred of Trump and just overall anxiety about the man was so overwhelming. I couldn't just look at her tweets and roll my eyes anymore. I couldn't just say she's got TDS, she's losing her mind because of it, and she hates the man and she's so afraid of him. I don't know why they're in such fear, but first I was just able to just look away, but I'm like, and I had to stop following her, which was hard because I know she's a good person. I just couldn't stand seeing all that anxiety and all that paranoia about this man day in and day out, you know. But she's a good person, and I know that. She probably thinks I'm a horrible person for not agreeing with her politically. Fine, whatever. That's not the point right now. The point right now is that Cher is a good person. And she tweeted about how she had said to her mom when she was watching the, footage of George Floyd being killed, while the policeman had his knee on the man's neck. And she remarked to her mom, you know, Ma, I think it sounds crazy, but I know it sounds crazy, but if I'm paraphrasing, I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like if I had been there, I could have done something, something to that extent, So she tweets this out, right? Doesn't the Twitter mob come for her? The same Twitter mob that's supposed to be on the same political side as her. Don't they come for her because, as if she's acting like a superhero, or as if she's somehow critiquing the people who were there at the time for not doing something, which she was not doing, or if she was somehow, saying she could have done something these other people couldn't have done. And so Twitter goes after her, and the poor woman has to apologize today, saying, I know my heart. That's what she said. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody, but I know my heart. And here's the thing. I brought up when you called people racist before. I brought up when you said, and I said, my whole basis of my argument of why you can't do that is because you're saying such a hurtful thing to people. And you don't know what's in somebody's heart. You don't know what a person feels. And as long as you don't know what a person really feels inside, you can't say they're a racist unless they do overtly racist things. You can't infer from something somebody says who they are on the inside. I've said this a million times. This is what I'm saying. When you attack somebody and you try to determine what they meant, you're saying that you know what's in their heart. And this is where you're a piece of shit when you do that. This is what they did to Cher. They tried to take what she was saying, which was actually a very good thing, and turn it into something else. Privilege or some other bullshit thing they would have come up with, because they only know like 3 things. But what I'm here to say is not only did Cher not misspeak, Cher was right. And here's why Cher was right. Imagine the scene just as it is. Cher, international icon, comes bopping up the street. What happens next? Without Cher opening her mouth, everybody goes, holy shit, it's Cher. Everybody starts running to Cher. Everybody wants an autograph of Cher, including probably the freaking cop. He's probably like, you know what? My grandma loves Cher. I'm going to try to get an autograph. Going to pick his knee up off the guy, and everybody's going to be alive, and everything's going to be fine. Scenario number 2. Cher comes bopping up the street, and for some reason people don't react and go, oh my God, let's get an autograph, let's get a picture with. And they say, and Cher goes, hey, cop man, get your knee off that man. Everybody's going to be like, holy shit, Cher just said Get your knee off that man. Now, here's the question. Would that happen? Yes, it would, because that's how Cher is. Number two, does that mean everybody else should have done that? No, because Cher comes from a different status in the world. She knows herself. She knows she's been around since forever. She's like 800 years old. You can't destroy Cher. Okay, so she has a confidence the average person on the street does not have in dealing with a police officer. Okay? She's going to know she can do something about it when other people, because of their status, because of their station in the world, may not feel like they can. So she's going to tell him off. Her status, her name, her visibility, who she is, would change that whole situation. And the worst of cops, the most vile of people trying to kill somebody else, may be stunned enough in the moment to say, holy shit, there's this famous person. I'm not going to be able to get away with what I would normally be able to get away with, because now a spotlight is going to reflect off of her onto me. Let me stop doing this right now. Okay? And here's what else you need to know about Cher and her heart. The reason that would have happened, and she would take away her fame, take away everything else, Cher helps people. Okay? She doesn't sit around. There's other celebrities who like to tweet and they like to tell people to give to charity, and they like to pretend, they like to virtue signal, and they like to tell you who to vote for. She does all that crap, but Cher helps people, okay? Forget if it was Iraq or Afghanistan, or both. I remember, I think I was watching Larry King Live. Cher comes on. The soldiers, okay? The soldiers, their helmets were of such cheap stuff that they were dying because their helmets weren't sturdy. Okay? Cher went ahead, found this out, went ahead and manufactured some kind of like insert type plate things that they could put in their helmet that would protect people. She didn't write her congressman. She didn't go, tell people on whatever social media was of the time, somebody should do something about this. Cher went and made the freaking things to put inside the helmets so these people would not have brain damage, would not die. When our own government gave them fakakta helmets. Nobody asked her to do that. She did it all by herself. Cher saves lives. Okay, remember Flint, Michigan? Remember the freaking water? Remember how everybody's like, oh, somebody ought to do something about that? Cher just ordered a bunch of freaking water and sent it to Flint, Michigan. Nobody asked her to. She just did it. You know why? Because Cher saves lives. So, Twitter mob, before you want to sit there and go, oh, I'm sure Cher would have done something. Who does she think she is? She's a superhero? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, you know what? I like your songs, but, you're not better than these people who were bystanders. You know what? Everybody's different. People have different qualities. Some people step up and some people don't. Some people are low men on the totem pole and don't feel like they have the ability to do that. For all the reasons I just said, there's a good freaking chance, as she imagined, had Cher been there, she could have done something that maybe everybody else wouldn't have done. Don't go after Cher, because you don't know what you're talking about.